Namaskaraha. Welcome to Jyotish Shastram. Today's topic is Panchangam. Panchangam, as we all know, is a Hindu calendar. A calendar for the entire year, starting from the Hindu New Year till the next New Year. But is it just a calendar? For instance, if someone says October 12th, then I look at the calendar to see which day it is. But that is all we get from an English calendar. Now, we are talking about our Hindu calendar. Here's the most important point. The Panchangam is our interface to the universe, a mathematical interface, a scientific interface. Here's what I mean.
When I say universe, I am talking about the celestial objects that influence us, such as the sun, moon, planets, and nakshatras. Unlike an English calendar, which represents just dates of the year, Panchangam helps us align with nature. We visually observe, such as the time of the sunrise and sunset, moon's orbit in the form of tithis, eclipses. There are many more such occurrences in the universe which we cannot see, and all of this is meticulously calculated and encapsulated in one place, and that is the Panchangam. And that's how it is our interface to what's happening in the universe. If you go back and look at our culture in the past, Panchangam played a very important role in our daily routine. The day started by referring to the Panchangam to know the Tithi, Vara, inauspicious time such as Rahu Kalam, etc. It was also a cultural practice where the head of the house used to not only refer to the Panchangam but also read it out loud before the daily prayers or puja. How did this help? Why was he doing this? तिथेश्च श्रियमाप्नोति वारादायुष्यवर्धनम् नक्षत्राद्धरते पापं योगाद्रोगनिवारणात् करणात् कार्यसिद्धिश्च panchangaphala The belief is that hearing the tithi of the day brings wealth, hearing the vara increases longevity, hearing day's nakshatra removes sins, hearing the yoga for the day cures diseases, and hearing karana bestows success in deeds. Or, if you look at it from a different angle, the knowledge of the tithi, such as if Amavasya was good or if Mangalavara was good, was already ingrained in the culture. So, reading out the Panchangam on a daily basis made everyone in the household aware so that they can mindfully carry out their activities in tune with nature. What is the meaning of Panchangam? Panchanam Anganam Samaharaha Panchangam. Panchangam denotes that which has five limbs or five elements of time division. Basic astrological information is codified into its five limbs, that is, Tithi, Vara, Nakshatra, Yoga, and Karana. Panchanga lists the daily starting and ending times of all five of these luni-solar limbs. Certain Tithi, Vara, Nakshatra, Yoga, and Karana are allocated for certain works only. Hence, being aware of this will help a person carry out the appropriate activities. In today's episode, we will look at these five primary elements.
Tithi means date. In English calendar, the dates have been given for every day of the month, such as 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and so on. Similarly, in our Hindu luni-solar calendar, the dates are Pratipada, Dvitiya, Tritiya, and so on. Pratipada, which is 1, Dvitiya, which is 2, Tritiya, which is 3, is the numbering system in Sanskrit, which has also been adopted in the regional languages as well. The dates 1, 2, 3 in the English calendar system has no correlation with the planetary movements, but Tithis in our calendar are not just numbers, there's more to it. Tithi by definition is Surya Chandrayoho Gatyantaram Titihi Bhavati. That means the difference between the motion of the sun and the moon is called Tithi.
If you want to know Tithi in detail, then please take a look at episode 5 to know more. Next is Vara or Vasaraha. This means a solar day or Savana Divasa. In Western system, the day is midnight to midnight, whereas In Hindu system, the day is sunrise to next sunrise. Names of the days are based on the lordship of the first hour on the day at sunrise. As per Siddhanta Grantha, names of the days have a specific order, farthest to closest to earth, that is, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury, Moon. Since Sun is the Pratyaksha Devata, or most important or life giver, we start with Sun as the Lord of the first hour. This day is called Sunday or Ravivara. And the second hour is Shukra. Third hour is Buddha. Fourth hour is Chandra. Fifth hour is Shani. Sixth hour is Guru. Seventh hour is Mangala. And this repeats until the 24th hour, which is Buddha, on the Sunday. 25th hour or the next day's sunrise is ruled by Lord Soma or moon, and hence the day after Sunday is called Somavara. 25th hour after Monday is ruled by Mangala, hence it is called Mangalavara, and so on. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are considered favorable to carry out any auspicious activities. Tuesday and Saturday are not considered favorable. Sunday is neutral. This is a high level reference for daily activities. Vara is also called Ahoratram. Ahancharatrihi chatayoho samaharaha, that is, continuous formation of day and night, comprising 24 horas, where one hora is 1 hour. Ahoratram word can be seen in multiple places in Valmiki Ramayana. One such reference is in Balakanda, when Sri Rama and Lakshmana are in sage Vishwamitra's ashrama to help guard the yagna. Tau tu tad vachanam shrutva rajaputrau yashasvinau anidrau shat ahoratram tapovanam arakshatam. This shloka notes that the two brothers safeguarded the rituals for 6 nights and days. We have previously seen in episodes 1 and 2 that there are 27 nakshatras that affect us. These are in the zodiac belt, starting from Ashwini to Revati. As the moon orbits around the earth, just like the Tithi, the day's nakshatra is also noted. The moon's position in a star at sunrise is referred as the nakshatra presiding for that day. Knowing the nakshatra for the day again guides you to follow the activities that would align well with the nakshatra's influence. For example, Kritika and Ashlesha nakshatras are useful for works connected with fire. These are not useful for celebrating marriages, etc.
The next two elements are yoga and karana. Yoga here is not Patanjali yoga, but here it is the true meaning of the word yoga, that is, union or conjunction.
Yogo Nama Yutihi. It denotes the combined effect of the sun and moon's location. These yogas are formed by the angle between the sun and moon on a day to day basis or calculated by adding together their degree positions. Each yoga is linked to a particular nakshatra. Hence, there are 27 such luni-solar yogas that reflect the nature and the effect of the interactions of sun and moon. The names of these yogas are Vishkambha, Preeti, Ayushman, Saubhagya until Vaidhriti. The name of the yoga pretty much explains the kind of yoga it bestows, that is, beneficial or not beneficial. Tityardham Karanam, that is, just like a solar day is divided into two portions, day and night, the lunar day Tithi is similarly divided into two Karanas. So, since there are 30 Tithis, there are 60 Karanas. 11 Karanas are permuted to make the 60 Karanas in a monthly cycle. Panchangam provides the details as to what activities are to be carried out in specific Karanas. For instance, in Shakuni Karana, eating medicine and reciting mantras are beneficial. In Bhava Karana, auspicious activities can be carried out. In general practice, yogas and karanas are observed for a newborn child so as to analyze the nature of the child who is born during that time. Apart from the 5 elements of time division, Panchangam conveys a lot more, such as details related to astronomy, precise planetary positions, that is, longitudes of all the 9 planets. That's why this is the most important reference for the Jyotishagnas to create a horoscope. It is also heavily relied in the context of election astrology, that is, to find a Shubha Muhurta. Information about eclipses, weather forecasts based on planets and nakshatras is also noted in the Panchangam. Hence, technically, the appropriate word for Panchangam is an almanac, an astrological almanac, and not a calendar. How did the Panchangam get all this information? The calculations are based on the arithmetic part of the Jyotish Shastram, that is, Siddhanta Skanda of Jyotish Shastram.
In this episode, we will continue to talk about Panchangam. Our focus will be on the usage and types of Panchangam in India. The different types, for instance, in southern states of India, say Karnataka, most part of the state follows Chandramana system, whereas Tamil Nadu follows Sauramana system. Hence, the respective Panchangams will reflect the calculations accordingly. We will delve into this a little more in this episode.
I told that Panchangam has a mathematical base. So, what is that base? Initial Panchangams were prepared based on Surya Siddhanta's calculations of planetary movements and locations. Here, I would like to take a slight deviation and explain the greatness of Surya Siddhanta. This Grantha is the oldest and highly advanced astronomical document known to mankind. It is a much respected astronomy text around the world. The original author is Mayasur, and it is believed that Lord Surya came as a proxy and gave the detailed knowledge of stars, planets, space, precise locations, etc. It has 500 shlokas. Here's the most interesting part. The 500 verses is a collection of updates made by many authors over a period of 15,000 years. One verse refers to the instance of Abhijit Nakshatra being removed from the Nakshatra Mandala, which dates back to 14,500 BCE. Another verse refers to two pole stars that existed around 12,000 BCE. The latest update that is believed to have been made to Surya Siddhanta is around 580 CE. Hence, I said the Surya Siddhanta has been updated over a period of 15,000 years. How did we arrive at these dates? The Sanskrit verses were picked by researchers and they looked at the astronomical positions noted in these verses. Based on that, they traced back as to when these positions were scientifically possible. And after these elaborate calculations, the researchers arrived at these dates. In summary, Surya Siddhanta is older than even Valmiki Ramayanam. So, coming back to Panchangam, obviously we used Surya Siddhanta rules and calculations for initial Panchangams. Another group of people followed Vakya Siddhanta to prepare the later Panchangams. This is also an ancient Grantha where all the calculations of planetary motions and locations are in the form of sentence or Vakya, and hence it is called Vakya Siddhanta. Over time, people realized that the results of the Surya Siddhanta calculations and real observations of planetary movements or current planetary positions varied by a few hours. Why is this? We already saw that the Surya Siddhanta document wasn't updated after 580 CE. So, another school of thought developed where they felt that the real observation should be used to get precise position of stars and planets but still follow the rules of existing granthas. This system came to be known as Driga Ganita or Drig Ganita, that is based on real observations. In essence, we still have a few Panchangams in India based on Surya Siddhanta calculations, whereas most of them now follow Drig Ganita calculations. There are Panchangams even based on a combination of Surya Siddhanta, Vakya Siddhanta, and Drig Ganita systems. For example, Untikoppal Panchang from Mysore, Karnataka. Coming to our national Panchang, around 1952, India created a positional astronomy center in Kolkata as an observatory to record real time observations of planets and stars for our national Panchang. Hence, our national Panchang is based on Drig Ganita system, which was first published in 1957. It is available in Sanskrit, Hindi, English, and regional languages such as Assamese, Bengali, etc. Panchangams are further regionally customized based on the system it follows. To make it clear, the planetary movements of precise locations are calculated based on Surya Siddhanta or Drigganita system. But when it is customized for Kerala, the month names will reflect Mesha or Dhanurmasam as per the Sauramana system, whereas when it is customized for Andhra, Panchangam will reflect Chandramana and convey month names such as Chaitramasam. The calculations on a Panchangam requires quite a bit of effort and it takes around 8 months for a team of astrologers to calculate and check multiple times for any errors. They refer quite a few granthas to get the output accurate. Panchangam existed in different forms before the physical booklet. It is told that the first booklet was printed in 1831 in Mumbai. The language initially was in Sanskrit, then moved on to regional languages, such as first Telugu Panchangam was printed in 1887 in Chennai. Now Panchangams are even converted in calendar shape. This started around 1934, which started with the Hindi Panchang calendar in Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh. Even other states adopted the similar system of Panchang calendar that is typically hung in almost every Hindu household to check important festivals.
Apart from the five elements, what else can you find in the Panchangam?
We already know Panchangam provides the duration of Tithi, Vara, Nakshatra, Yoga, and Karna in detail, such as starting time, ending time, and its correlation with the English dates. As a Jyotisham practitioner, Panchangam is a very important document for me. If I need to select a Shubha Muhurta, for instance, for a Griha Pravesha, then I need to check if Tithi, Vara, Nakshatra, Masa, Yoga are favorable to the house owner's horoscope. Check Tarabalam, Chandrabalam, Lagna, etc. Panchangam notes precise planetary positions. If a horoscope needs to be prepared for a newborn baby, then again Panchangam is referred to pinpoint the Lagna, Rashi, Nakshatra, and to capture the snapshot of planets at the time of birth. Panchangam provides Vivaha Kuta chart. In order to check compatibility of two individuals, I will refer to Vivaha Kuta chart to match the horoscopes. Panchangam provides sunrise, sunset, moonrise, and moonset timings. People who practice Sandhya Vandana refer to the Panchangam for sunrise and sunset timings to do the rituals. Panchangam provides auspicious or inauspicious Tithi or Kala. If I were a person with basic knowledge of Jyotishastram and if I am about to embark on a journey, then I will ensure that it isn't Ashtami or Amavasya or Rahu Kala or Yamaganda Kala. Or if I am making an important decision, then again I will choose a favorable tithi. Panchangam provides the detailed time to celebrate auspicious rituals, for example, Sri Ramanavami or Ganesh Chaturthi. Festivals are based on tithi and a specific time. Hence, to decide when to celebrate a festival, Panchangam is referred. Panchangam provides weather or rainfall predictions based on sun, moon, and star positions. As a farmer, I can plan the sowing of seeds and other activities based on this knowledge. For a layman who has no knowledge of Jyotishastram, Panchangam acts as a ready reckoner by providing advice on how to observe festivals. What are the auspicious and inauspicious days? Calculated muhurtas for functions such as marriage, griha pravesha, etc. Details of eclipses, start and end time, rites to be conducted during the eclipse, effect on certain birth signs or stars, concise information on Shakuna Shastram, omens and its meaning along with remedies are provided. Also, you might remember the Panchanga Shravana ritual on Yugadi, where the yearly results, predictions on local, national, global political, economic, and social climate is also stated. That should give you an idea of most of the components and usage of Panchangam. Consider a scenario that a person is outside India and picks a Panchangam followed by the ancestors that reflects timings in India. Is this a right practice? No, it is not. You should pick the local Panchangam that reflects the time in your city. Even picking the Panchangam from India and doing manual conversion of time zones might not be accurate as the local sunrise and sunset time needs to be considered, which is not straightforward. As we all know, festivals are tithi based and not date driven. Though each tithi begins and ends at the same instant all over the world, The tithi that is visible during the specified time at your location is important. For instance, in India, Yugadi was on March 25th, whereas Yugadi in US, California, should have been celebrated on March 24th as per the tithi. If you would have blindly used the Indian calendar, then you wouldn't be following the festivals as per the right tithis.
This is our Indian almanac. How different is it from the Western almanacs?
Some say the almanac originated from the Greek word, which means calendar. Others say it came from Arabic word almanac or climate. The first Western almanacs may have originated in the 8th century BC in the form of Babylonian clay tables where details of eclipses, lunar phases, etc. were seen. Early almanacs, such as by Regiomontanus, were devoted primarily to astronomical knowledge, astrology, predictions of the future, and weather. Later almanacs started becoming more of a literature document with notations of anniversaries, world records, interesting facts, home medical advice, etc., that is less scientific information. A few examples of Western almanacs. Whitaker's Almanac, originally published by UK, includes education, health, environment, and social issues, and a directory of various establishments. World Almanac and Book of Facts conveys information about subjects such as world changes, tragedies, sports, etc. The Old Farmer's Almanac holds information on weather forecasts, tide tables, planting charts. The New York Times Almanac contains major news events of the year as well as the maps. So you see, this is very different from our traditional Panchangam that we see even today. In today's episode, we learnt that the Panchangam is prepared using one or more systems such as Surya Siddhanta, Vakya Siddhanta, and Drig The greatness of Surya Siddhanta, we have a national Panchang and other local customized Panchangams, the various components and how these are used in day to day life. Finally, how Western almanacs evolved over the years.
With that, I hope you have a good understanding of the Panchangam and its value in the Indian culture. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please post them in the comment section. Do subscribe to this free channel and support the cause of spreading Jyotish Shastram knowledge to everyone. Dhanyavadaha.